Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I'm back with another review. And today we're taking a look at from the Transformers Cyberverse Deluxe class line. This is Prowl, and I have to say, in some ways, I really like this version of Prowl more than the Siege or Earthrise Datsun design. I have no idea if we're going to see this mold repainted and retooled into, say, a Cyberverse versions of Blue Streak or Smokescreen, but I wouldn't be against that. Um, Now, one thing I should mention that might put some of you a little bit off is all the white plastic you see, the doors, the chest, the arms, the fists, the legs, the feet, that's that off-white, grainy white plastic that we saw with Siege Ape Face and the Top Gun Maverick figure. It's like some people have said it's like a soapy consistency. Now it's perfectly fine here, but I know for some people they just don't like that the tactile feel of that type of plastic. Other than that, Prowl actually comes with 3 accessories. A Cyberverse animation design of his classic acid pellet blaster, and then 2 blast effects. And I was a little surprised, I actually never noticed this before, but the 2 blast effects are actually different. One looks to be a recolor of one of the null ray blasters that came with Starscream, while this one is a little bit thinner and just looks like a traditional blast effect type of deal. Both of them are of a harder plastic like the ones we've seen with Soundwave and Starscream. And unfortunately, as I said, we only have 2. So there isn't one for the barrel of Prowl's gun, although you can, of course, just plug any of them in just like that. Since this is a deluxe class Cyberverse figure, Prowl does have some extra articulation. As you just saw there, there's a waist swivel, head swivel, no ball joint in the head. You do have ball joints here in the arms, in the shoulders, bicep swivel, and then rotation at, bend at the elbow, a hinge, universal joint at the hip. And what's nice is you do have these little side skirts are on a hinge there so they can get out of the way for the movement. Nice knee bend, and of course you do have some angle pivot, a little forward and back action there too to help position things. So you really do have a nice articulated Prowl figure. Now I want to just mention that the handgun does peg into his fist quite tightly. Maybe it has something to do with that plastic, I don't know. The shoulder cannons, if you don't want to use them, you can fold them back, I guess. Since, you know, the classic G1 look of Prowl, he really didn't have the shoulder guns, but, you know, in Cyberverse, the character has used them. And overall, if you notice, this design, if you remember the Spy Changers from around 2000, 2001, this is like the version 2 color scheme of Prowl. Blue instead of black. So, I think that's really kind of cool. So, let's get into the transformation, shall we? Well, if you haven't already, go ahead and flip back the shoulder guns as far as they're going to go. Come in under the hood here, lift up, and all the way back, you want to fold out what is the hood of the car, the arms, the door wings, and the backpack. That will all come undone. This white piece right here will unpeg from the post right there, and you'll just go ahead and flip that up. Next, what you want to do is kind of straighten out the hinge there so it's kind of angled inward. The instructions are a little unclear as to what you're really supposed to do, but we'll work it through. And then come around, and on this white hinge section, bring down the shoulder guns like that, so they're kind of angled towards the roof. So what we can now do here is come in, bring the arms out to the side on the ball joint, rotate them so that now if you're looking down on the underside of the hood of the car, the badges are facing towards you, and then rotate them in just like so, and then down. Just bring the arms down and they will hinge in. Now, the instructions, again, aren't very clear, but what you want to do now is sort of manipulate the hood and roof up and over with the arms, that they go in behind the shoulder guns, and just like that will sit down and everything in place, and the arms will come in behind the grooves here in the waist. So once you have that done, go ahead and peg the legs together. And I gotta say, this leg and foot transformation is much better than what we had on Earthrise. Turn the figure around so the back of the legs are facing up. Open up the back panels all the way so they're somewhat flared out like that. Come in and fold the side of the foot in and up, just like that, and then fold the foot flat into the back of the leg. Angle the leg down slightly, and that is shown in the instructions, so you can then come in, fold the legs up, and then bring up the whole waist section, so you have the arms and everything folded upward. Make sure you get everything. You know, sometimes the arms might pop out. Just adjust it right there. When you have that folded up, go ahead, close those panels, and then, of course, come in and make sure everything is folded up, and come in, and you want to close the doors. They will peg into place. The doors are the arms are being a little finicky right now, of course. So make sure you have it just like that, and there we go. I think what the chest is pushing out against the roof, so, but just work with it a little, and the transformation should not be this bad. Oh, do we have it? Just make sure it's all... Yeah, I do. You know what? I think part of the problem might be the... No, the shoulders are... I think it is a case of the blasters might have... The shoulder guns might have just shifted ever so slightly, so we're just gonna... I just went ahead and fixed that, and then you can just bring the arms back down into place. Just like so, just like that. And, make sure everything's just signed in. Oh, I see what happened. In the process of moving things around, the shoulder piece has behind where the guns are is unfortunately rotated up. That can happen. Just want to go ahead and bring this back, bring that down. Again, try to keep the just like that. I think that should work. And just, you know, fold it up like that. I think I got it. Yep. There we go. That was the problem, is the shoulder guns kind of moved. If you can see here through the window, you really want those guns up against the window above the foot. Sorry about that. I mean, the transformation's really not that difficult. There's a hole here in the roof. You can go ahead and plug the gun in, and they do show you using the blast effects. as exhaust effects on the car. So there you go. I mean, you can have all the effects self-contained. I know I personally usually prefer having integrated storage with the weapons, but in the last couple of years, Hasbro has started shifting away from that. And as I mentioned, there you have the police detail, all in blue. I really like the color blue, so I really like the look of this figure. But again, you can see the off-white of that type of plastic. Also, I don't know if this is a detail or I'm doing something wrong, but the piece of the hood right here sits in just a little. And if you try, and I try to push it up with my thumb, and it just doesn't sit right. But it is pegged into place, so maybe it's a little bit of a detail. So yeah, to go back to robot mode, go ahead, remove the blast effects, remove the gun. We're just going to reverse what we just did. It should go a little bit easier now, as always. Usually transforming from vehicle to robot is a little bit easier. Open the door panels, come in down here, open up the legs panels, and make sure you do fan them out just like that. Bring the legs out, unfold them from the knee, fold the feet out. You can go ahead and close up those back panels, come in, fold out the side panels there on the foot, separate the leg, turn around, go ahead and just bring out the back section just like that. Bring the arms up and out, up and out. Rotate them so that now the ball joints are visible. Bring the white hinge piece there that holds the shoulder guns up. It will sort of pop up naturally just through the transformation, but you know, if it hasn't, go ahead and finish it. Using your thumbs, go ahead and push that middle section up and out. And basically the way this is supposed to fold up is there's a slot on the underside of that middle hood piece that will go into a tab right there, but it's really not going to peg in until you bring everything up and over. So go ahead, start folding things up, and bring the chest piece, which was the front and hood of the car, down, and that will just snap into place. As you can see, that white piece is now tabbed in. Bring the arms down to the side, and go ahead and bring the shoulder guns forward. Insert the gun into his hand. Ooh, that is tight, but rather it be tight than loose. And go ahead and peg in the blast effects if you so desire. And, you know, if you want, you can leave them pegged in and just fold that back. So looks like he's got jet boosters or something. But yeah, and then you can rotate it forward and have it come flying off. But yeah, this is really a cool looking Prowl. I am quite happy to have it. I think out of the three, I want to say it's a race between Prowl and Starscream for the best figure of the line, at least of this wave. But I think just because of the colors and you know, having and just being a fan of Prowl, I think it's gonna have to go to Prowl. But you know, some people prefer Starscream. I know a lot of people who have this don't particularly like Prowl. I think a lot of it has to do with that soapy plastic. But let's pause, and I'll be back with my final thoughts. For a lot of us, Prowl was the original RoboCop. Part machine, other part machine, all cop. And I think this version of Prowl from the Cyberverse line encompasses that aesthetic in a little less grizzled form, since Cyberverse is more of a kid's cartoon. Like I said, I think this is a tie between Prowl and Starscream, between the figure I prefer the most from this wave. Either one you can't go wrong with. In fact, all three, including Soundwave, are fantastic figures. And I think really they're some of the better deluxes we've had thus far. I think removing the Build-A-Figure, we get a little more accessories. The blast effects being in a solid plastic, I think is fantastic. So definitely, I think Prowl is worth the pickup. Figures available now from online retailers such as Big Bad Toy Store and is being found in brick and mortar retail. I don't think it's available yet on Amazon, but should be coming along soon, maybe. But yeah, that's about it. If you like this video, please consider liking, commenting, and subscribing. While I will always appreciate and hold views in highest esteem, the liking, commenting, and subscribing communicates to YouTube through their algorithms that a humble channel such as my own should be held in high esteem and exalted. If you really want to make the ultimate sign of support to this channel, consider signing up for my Patreon. There's a link in the description below and a card here in the corner. It is www.patreon.com/chuckdog1999. All I ask for is $1 a month, $12 a year. No thrills, no tears, no special benefits. All you're doing is helping me help you bring figures like Prowl to you, and also keeping up the general infrastructure of the channel. But as always, and I always say this, if you can't do the $12 a year, that's perfectly fine. Just watching the videos and engaging on the channel is more than enough, and I truly am humbled by your support. In about 2 months, we're going to be celebrating my 10 years of doing online video reviews, so I am definitely looking forward to that. Other than that, this is your old pal Chuck for Prowl. We will see you next time.